Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Best Brew Ever. In this episode we're going to follow up on the Sweet Georgia Brown we brewed in the last episode, and we need to get something on tap. So we're going to do an extract, a magical mild, so we can kind of speed it through and get some beer flowing. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Sweet Georgia Brown from the last episode. Alright everybody, a quick review here on our Sweet Georgia Brown. I just want to kind of cover it before the keg gets kicked, because it's about there. Like with the cream ale, I didn't get to actually show the beer on the video, so I wanted to go ahead and get this recorded before it's gone. So here it is, the Sweet Georgia Brown. It came out very nice. It was a very good beer. If you can get some color on that. That's how I know it's hard with the, but it's through the light. And it is actually not super sweet. It's not, it has lactose in it, so it's not overly sweet. But it's a nice, very drinkable beer. Because I didn't take gravity like I have been wanting to, I forgot on this one. I don't know how much alcohol is in it. It's actually more than the cream ale. I can tell just by drinking it. But it's smooth and delicious, and it's not disappointing. I kegged it about a week ago, and obviously, the longer you have in a keg, the longer you condition, you get different flavors out of it. And when I first kegged it, and got poured off a couple beers, had a kind of a more acidic flavor to it, but obviously as it stayed in the keg and in the cold, it became more malty, and it's just a little bit of sweetness. It's not bad at all. It's not where like a dessert beer or something like that. It's a very drinkable beer, plenty of flavor. It's very good, and I wish I could leave these beers to condition longer, and I guess I could, but they're just so delicious. And it's right now it's new to have good beer every day if I want. So I think I'm kind of going through them a little faster than I should, because of the uniqueness of having beer on tap every day. Having good beer on tap. I'm gonna do some fast beers, and I also want to do some beers that I can let chill out for a while, and so I can get some better flavor out. I think it's totally worth the money. I think everything went right with it, and it's definitely a beer that I have enjoyed. So I do recommend the Sweet Georgia Brown from Great Fermentations. And that is the review for this one, folks. Well, there it was. It was a delicious beer. Went fast. That's why we needed to get something on tap. So we went ahead and did this extract, and let's see how it came out. Alright, here we are with we got a magical mild ale from Great Fermentations. This is a extract. It's Friday. I'm dead tired. My back is killing me, and I don't want to do all grain, but I need some beer, so we're gonna do this mild. This is, I guess, how their extracts come in this box. I actually went there and got it. It's
crack it open and see what we got inside. Got some light Mara solder. How much is it? 3.3 pounds. Looks like some East Kent Goldings. A muslin bag for our magical mild steeping grains. It's a heck of a package. What else we got? We have some dry malt extract, light Pilsen. And what else is this? Customer referral card. And then our instructions. So let's see where we're gonna start here. Actually, the kit doesn't come with the yeast. You have to buy it separate, but I mean, obviously you're at the homebrew shop, so I have the yeast. I think I left it in the back room. Okay, on the back here we have all the instructions. You have prior to brewing, talking about sanitizing, your brew day, everything you're going to go through, fermentation and bottling. You have tips for success. You can kind of look at that. I haven't really looked this over. I'm just going to go to the brew day. I haven't done an extract in probably over 5 years, so it's kind of new to me again. So looks like we're going to fill up our kettle with as much water as possible to 160, and we'll go from there. Okay, when I said fill up your kettle here as full as possible, it's as full as possible with leaving enough room for your steeping grains and your extract. Otherwise, if you fill it up all the way up, you know, to the top, as soon as you put your bag of grains in there, it's gonna overflow. So obviously, leave some room. It looks like I've filled it about 2/3 of the way full. I can't remember how big of a pot this is. I think it's about 5 gallons. I really can't remember. I haven't used it for extracts in such a long time. But you know, leave some room. Use your best judgment. We're going to try to get this up to 160, and the thought process behind that is you get it up to 160, so they want you to mini mash in steeping grains in at about 150, 155, so they figure, you know, you get up to 160, you get your grains in there, you're going to lose some heat from the heat exchange from the water to the grain, and you can do your little mini mash at 155, 150, 155, and go from there. When they let this get up to temp, and we'll get our bag of grains in there, keep this thing moving. Alright, we finally got it up to 160. It took a while. For, you know, this, it's not a huge kettle, but it's decent volume of water. So we got up to 160, got the muslin bag full of grains, our steeping grains, and excuse me, we are mini mashing in steeping grains. It's hard to do all this one-handed. dirty bird. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Get in there. It's like a jacuzzi. It's a jacuzzi for the grains. Oh, yeah. Get a little massage in there. It sounds creepy, but maybe I should not have let that fall in there. Craps. That's gonna be hot when I try to get it out. Oh, I almost dropped everything in there. I need a tripod. Oh Lord, I need a tripod. But I'm gonna do my best. This is cool. Just give me a second. Alright, back in business. I've tied it off over here so we don't have any more running around with the grain bag and specialty grains, and you can already see the water turning that nice mild color. I mean, just like that looks like a mild. We're gonna do more. It's gonna be more better. Man, it smells like almost like pure coffee in there. No, maybe not. For whatever reason, something's got my nose stopped up. You just hear it like instantly. But I think that's probably good. Makes you feel like you're doing something more. You stir it up, like you got a mash going, and it's essentially is mash in this bag. The next instructions are to let it sit at 150 to 155 for a half hour, 30 minutes. So that's going to be a little bit harder because I don't have it in the oven where I can have a consistent temperature, or the oven will consistently do that for me, and I guess I could have, but I wanted to try it a different way. It didn't say to put it in the oven, so I'm going to try to do it where I can try to keep adjusting the heat with the stove, which is going to be more, time consuming, I guess, and I'm going to have to be a little more attentive to it. So let me get a temperature reading on it and see where we need to go from here. I'll see. Yeah, we're at 150. A little lower. Yeah, so I mean we're about right where we need to be. So, but I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. I really don't know what's gonna happen when it's gonna cool, and I need to kind of boost that temp up. How is this grain bag gonna react to the burner? Am I gonna have to hold it up off the bottom of the kettle while I do it? I don't know. But we will find out. When I find out, you'll find out. So 30 minutes from now, this is what happens. Alright, at 30 minutes is up. I have taken the grain bag out of the pot. I have it tied to the handle here. It's right over the stove, so that's convenient. As it says, do not squeeze the grain bag, because a lot of people say that it releases tannins and things into the beer, the wort, and can create harsh flavors. So I'm gonna let this strain right where it's at, and when that's done, I'm gonna discard the whole thing, the grain in the bag. And I have been heating the liquid extract. The burner's not on right now. I'll heat up every once in a while and then turn it off, and then I'll turn the can over so both sides heat this, just to because this stuff is really thick. Anybody who's not done an extract, and this will help to thin it out and so we can get it out of that can. And I also have the dry malt extract. So after this is done straining, discard the bag. It says mix in the extracts, so both the dry and the liquid. It's still, you see, I don't know if you can see steam coming off of it. There's still steam, so it's still hot. So looks like we don't have to bring it up to a boil or heat it more to dilute those extracts. All right, I got the can of light Marisol extract, liquid malt extract, open, and I'm gonna dump her in. This stuff is like molasses. It's just, look at that. That's, even been warmed. It's hard to, normally I'd be stirring this while I pour it in, but I gotta hold the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up. I'll get all this out of there. Probably put some of the hot wort in there and get all that cleaned out. And I'll move on to my dry malt extract. Man, this stuff is, you can put it on your pancakes. Alright, my liquid malt extract is mixed in. I got everything out of the can as much as I could. Put some of the wort in there and mix it around. That stuff is still thick. I didn't get, completely clean, but it was as much as I could get. And as I'm looking in here, there is sediment in here, pieces of grain. I don't know if you can pick it up. I guess because of the muslin bag, as you kind of stretch it, the holes in the weaving, they get larger, and I guess it kind of lets some particles out, some husks. But that should all settle out in the fermenter, hopefully. And so now I'm going to put in my dry malt extract, which is the light Pilsen. And I don't know if it's a good idea to just dump it in like that. But I get so much stickage on there. Oh man. It's like I don't know. So horribly clumped. Hopefully this will dissolve. I don't know if I'm getting it. Oh, I think I hit the button. Yeah, this is horrible. I don't remember this ever happening. When I've done just now. Maybe it's just not hot enough. This is all. It's doing all right. Actually, I cannot see the camera, so hopefully I'm getting a shot of this. Yeah, that's mixing in. That's good. Now it says to bring her up to a boil, and we'll get our hops in there. All right, I finally got the wort up to a rolling boil. It's not a vigorous boil, but it's rolling. That's what we need. We don't want it too much, or we can have a little overflow here and it'd be horrible. I got a ½ ounce of the East Kent Goldings in there. The first edition hops for 60 minutes. I don't know right now what the other edition is, but when it's ready, I'll come back on here. So, it's our first edition hops. Oh yeah. There you go. Get it in there. I'll tie this off over here and let her go. 40 minutes later, I put this second edition ½ ounce hops in, another ½ ounce of East Kent Golding, and those will go back in for 20 minutes. That'll be the end of the boil. Alright, we have the wort chilling in the ice bath. The instructions say to cool it down as soon as possible, which we know we need to cool it down within a ½ hour. So I've read. I've read before that you're not supposed to put the top on it when it's cooling. For some reason I can't really remember right now. But the instructions say to do that, so I'm following the instructions. Maybe later I'll read up more and decide whether or not I'm going to continue to do that. But I'm going to follow instructions for this procedure right now. So we're just going to get it down to yeast pitching temperature, and we'll get it into the fermenter, fill it up with some more water, and pitch our yeast and seal it up and be done. I already got my wort cooled down to maybe about 74. I went ahead and put it in my fermenter, dumped it in there at kind of high altitude, and just to get some air in there. Now I'm gonna take some filtered water from the fridge, just top it off to 5 gallons, and hopefully that'll be a good enough pitching temperature for my yeast. I got my wort down to temp. I pitched my yeast, and I didn't record any of it because I forgot that I was making a video. I'm really tired. Actually, this is a new yeast to me. It's White Labs. I think they have something going on with grape fermentations where I got the kit. It says that, and this is what the actual yeast came in. This little packet here, you just cut off one end and you just, grab it from the bottom and just kind of squirt it in there. It's really weird, but it says that it has never been exposed to the environment, like it was harvested or grown somehow in this packet. You're holding the industry's first pitchable yeast grown and delivered in the same package. White Labs Pure Pitch is the result of continuing
journey to create the absolute purest yeast ever. Yeast that's never been exposed to the environment in its most perfect and natural state. This is what it says. So we'll see how well it works, if it's any better than any other yeast that I've used. This is my first mild, so I don't really have much to go on. But I got it in the bag, so time to relax. Over and out. So there you have it. The extracts in the fermenter. We'll go ahead and let her ferment out. Hopefully within about a week we'll get this thing kegged, carbonated, and into our glass. See you next time when we're going to do something special. It is going to be a themed beer, I guess. One of my favorite TV shows, The Walking Dead. We're going to do a Walking Dead Pale Ale. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.